How do you start your morning? If you answered not dead, then you definitely weren't a patient of Dr. Harold Shipman, England's most prolific serial killer.
Police are investigating the deaths of 20 people who were all patients of the same GP, Dr. Harold Shipman.
Doctors, man. If you can trust anyone, it's supposed to be doctors.
What cigarette do you smoke, Doctor?
I mean, look at this guy. You wouldn't suspect a thing walking into his office. Maybe a lollipop and an awkward look after a prostate exam or something. Moon River. But murdered by a diamorphine overdose?
This sucks.
Well, I mean, as far as serial killers go, I guess it's better than a hammer or chainsaw to the face. But I suppose that would be a hard one to explain to any loved ones in the waiting room. Like, you're expecting to walk your mom to her car after she visits the doctor, not load pieces of her into the trunk. So, for Harold Shipman, diamorphine was the answer. It was quick, painless, and untraceable, so he thought. But why? What kind of sick fuck takes pleasure in overdosing his patients? Some think it had something to do with the death of his mother. When Shipman was 16, he watched her slowly and painfully succumb to lung cancer. Eventually, their family doctor prescribed her with diamorphine. Okay, I mean, I get that. Diamorphine relieves pain. Great. But his mother's doctor was using it to help her, not murder her. So how the hell did Shipman get the bright idea to use diamorphine to kill? I mean, it wouldn't have been so bad if he was like the Dexter of doctors. Like if he had some kind of insider knowledge into the who's who of serial killers on the loose around England, and then he used his evil doctor powers to take them out. Wait, but Dexter was a serial killer who killed other serial killers. So would that mean that Shipman could only kill other evil doctors like H.H. Holmes and Joseph Mengele? Fuck, I would pay good money to watch those twisted demons duke it out in a surgery practice with scalpels and syringes and shit. Especially if you could choose the stage like in Mortal Kombat, like, Shipman versus Mengele in a barber shop. Last one standing takes and records the time of death. Imagine if that was an actual game. Who else would be characters? Let's think about that for a second. You could have, Hannibal Lecter, Dr. Evil. Or you could maybe even toss in a guy like Kevorkian. The jury's kind of still out on whether or not that guy was a dick. If you can think of any other evil doctors, drop them down below. Dr. Jekyll, kinda. But fuck, wasn't Mortal Kombat such a sick game? They could do that test your might thing with their defibrillator paddles. Anyways, we're getting a little bit off track here. Shipman's patients, the over 218 that he murdered, yeah, they weren't all knocking on death's door.
How's it hanging, Death?
Not one, I repeat, not one was terminally ill. To do his best to avoid detection, he would typically prey on the elderly. At first, it seemed like he was doing it just for some kind of sick thrill.
You could trouble me for a warm glass of shut the hell up.
But if 1 or 200 healthy adults go in for a checkup and wind up dead,
You will go to sleep, or I will put you to sleep.
it's only a matter of time before people start asking questions. And eventually, they did.
Oh, dear.
It turns out that more than a few people surrounding his practice in Hyde, Greater Manchester had their suspicions. A taxi driver noticed that on more than one occasion, his elderly customers would drop dead just hours after he picked them up from Shipman's medical practice.
People were having the call from the doctor, and within a couple of hours of him visiting them, they were passing away.
Oh, and when I say on more than one occasion, I mean more than 24 times. Fucking right, this guy had his suspicions. I mean, this guy's been helping the elderly arrive alive all over Hyde for years. He hasn't even run over one elderly woman at a crosswalk. That's basically a rite of passage for most small-town British taxi drivers. Then suddenly, his elderly fares start dropping like flies at such a rate that he expects the police to accuse him of being the killer.
You talking to me?
It wasn't long before the taxi driver put 2 and 2 together and began taking notes. But it wasn't him. He didn't raise the alarm. Shipman was a respected member of the community here, guys. Accusing a doctor of being a serial killer? It was him! It's like, I don't know, accusing a Catholic priest of being a pedophile. It's unthinkable. But as it turns out, Shipman himself was his own worst enemy. After the thrill of murdering for sport wore off, Shipman fell victim to the oldest motive in the book. Say it with me, folks. Greed. So I'm gonna take a second here and steal from Mike over on that chapter.
Hey you, and welcome. My name is Mike.
His videos always get so many fucking views.
Let's give it a go.
Have you guys checked out any of his stuff? That chapter? He's great. Anyway, yeah, greed. Specifically, why kill people for free when you can do it for money?
I never thought of it that way.
And I mean lots of money. Show me the money! That's right, folks. Like H.H. Holmes before him, Shipman began forging the wills of his victims. He tricked one woman into signing over her entire estate to him, cutting out her own children, the greedy bastard. He was really fucking dumb about it, too. But what do you expect? Dude had a god complex. Come on, like the local police could take down the great Harold Shipman. Do you really think a decorated and educated doctor would leave the typewriter he used to forge wills just lying around? What, you think he would just leave over 10,000 pounds worth of stolen jewelry that could tie him directly to his victims in his garage?
Hey fellas, the garage.
Well, what do you call it?
A car hole.
Come on! Shipman didn't bat an eye under interrogation. The cops had nothing. What, you think the exhumation of a victim's body was enough to make him sweat? Okay, yeah, apparently that last one made him shit his fucking pants. The toxicology report revealed overdose levels of diamorphine, and that combined with the typewriter he used to forge wills just lying around in his office and the stolen jewelry in his garage was enough to take him down and revoke his medical license, obviously.
Guilty of murdering 15 of his patients, Harold Shipman is sentenced to life.
But that wasn't the end of Harold Shipman's killing spree. He still managed to get one more victim. Himself.
He was found dead in his cell at Wakefield Jail, a noose made from sheets around his neck.
Night, night, Harold Shipman. So, what do you think? Would you like to see Harold Shipman, H.H. Holmes, and Joseph Mengele fight to the death in a medical practice? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to murder that subscribe button and click that notification bell because I've got new killer content dropping all the time. And if you just can't get enough, you can head over and follow on Instagram and TikTok for more killer content.